This is one of the new properties I just picked up. I gotta do a cleanup here, trim all these ornamental grasses, pick up all these sticks. It's a yard here across the bridge on the other side. Pretty nice. There ain't too much to clean up on the other side of the creek. It's all on this side. So, let's get it done. So I decided to do a cleanup today. This is the part I hate about cleanups because I have disc issues and sciatic issues in my lower back on the right hand side. And just this little bit of picking up sticks kills my back. My back will now be throbbing the rest of the day. But it wasn't too bad. There wasn't too many here. So it's another reason why I don't take on a lot of cleanups. But, you know, as far as all the regular stuff goes with cleanups, the leaves, the blown out, the raking, I can do that stuff all day. But this bending over constantly to pick up sticks, it's part of getting old, I guess. It just happens. Okay, I went through and picked up all the sticks except for the tiny ones, which the walker will suck all those up on the first cut. You see how I taped that one there? That one I can't. These little ones are pointless. Just trim them real quick. And then this big monster here. These things are so big around, it would be a pain to get tape all the way around them. I'm just going to have to trim them, rake it up. It's so much easier when you can tape them off like I mentioned, and I'm sure you guys have seen me do that in other videos. I started doing it a long time ago, and you can use anything from electrical tape, duct tape, Gorilla tape. I think I've even used regular packing tape at one time because that's what I found in my truck, but you can use anything. You'll notice in this cleanup, I use a very basic of everything. I mean, I do have a BR600 backpack blower that I use, and those hedge trimmers, I don't remember which ones they are. I know they're the largest ones that Steel makes for the, you know, the regular handheld ones. Anything bigger, I use my pole hedge trimmers, which you guys have seen in other videos. But you know, you don't need those. You can use electric ones. There's electric outlets all over the back of this house I could have used if I had a cheap Black & Decker pair, whatever. But it's just basic trimming here to clean this stuff up, and you know, and then raking. And you'll see that I mentioned you know, at the end of last year I broke all my good plastic rakes, so all I had was a metal rake and I had to do the cleanup with that. But you know, it's just very basic stuff that I had here. Spent a couple hours here, it wasn't that long, made really good money on this cleanup. And you know, I didn't really do anything. It was more my time and just putting in the effort is all it really was. So, you know, I mean, anybody can do this. I'm showing you now that I did it with very basic stuff. I'm using, like I said, the backpack blower, which you can use a little handheld blower. It doesn't even have to be a name brand like Steel. I mean, you guys know everything I use is Steel, but you can grab anything. You can, you know, there's a million different kinds, especially if you're just starting off. Just get what you can get and, you know, do these jobs and save up the money and then reinvest in your equipment. And, you know, having better equipment always makes the job easier, and, you know, it makes a lot of things much simpler, but you don't have to have it. Just build up to it. That's what we all did. All right. All those are cut. That's cut. That big one's cut. And all those are cut. I raked out the bulk of it, and then I'm going to blow all these flower beds out with the backpack. Ideally, I get it all into the yard, and then I can either mulch it up or suck it up with the walker. But I think this ground is still too soft for a mower. But next week it's supposed to be warm, so what I'll do is blow it all out in the yard. I'll rake up the bulk of it, and I'll leave the little bits that are left
then I'll come here next week. It's supposed to be in the 50s and dry most of the week. I'll come here and vac the rest of it up.
This is what I meant. You see me doing the raking. This is not the rake for doing this kind of stuff. And, you know, it likes to stick into the ground and just grab into the ground. It's not like using a regular leaf rake. These things they're just not meant for this. But, you know, I'm showing you here in this video, and not intentionally, because I'd much rather had the other rake in. If I had one available to me, I would have definitely used that. But I'm showing you that that's what I used here, and you can do the same thing. I'm kind of excited about this. This is a new property. I wish it was going to be a more permanent thing, but you know, they moved to Dallas, Texas, and they put the house up for sale. And I came highly recommended from a guy that used to help them out with stuff. So I'm excited. They just wanted a very quick, basic cleanup. They didn't want mulch. They don't want the flower beds re-edged. They don't want anything trimmed other than this ornamental grass. So just a quick blowout is all they were looking for, and then to maintain it weekly is mowing it until it sells. So I don't know. I hope I get not to wish them any bad fortune, but I really hope I get a good portion of the season mowing it. It seems like it'll be fun, nice, easy one, big open yard, and you know, not much trimming as far as weed whacking and stuff goes. A little bit of edging, and then I want to drive across that bridge to mow the back part. So you know, we'll see what happens, but the cleanup's out of the way, and it's one less thing I have to worry about. Another quick blowout when I come do the first mow, and that's it.
I don't know, well, you can see that, but I got a line all the way through. So I'm going to rake it up into a pile, get the bulk out, then take the blower, push the rest of it out, and when I come back next week to mow it, I will blow all the flower beds out again real quick and then back it all up. You look foggy, dirty. My camera's always dirty. It's like 36 degrees out here. It was snowing and it stopped. See? Snowing. Again, this is what's been doing on and off all day. Sometimes harder. I got the bulk of it all the way down here. Now I'm going to blow it down because there's just too much there, because at the end of last season I broke both of my plastic rakes. So I have no more. So I had to use that dumb metal rake to try to rake this, and using that on grass is a nightmare. So I actually pulled it along with the coal shovel. Worked better than the metal rake. But I'm going to go down there with the blower and blow as much as I can down here and make it look a little better. And it'll actually clean it up a lot. It'll look pretty good. And then it'll just be little bits. No big deal. And next week, like I said, when I mow it, I can back it up. Nobody's living here anyway. They moved to Dallas, and the house is for sale. See? Sign. Okay, my camera's gonna die, but real quick. See this pile? That's what that whole line of stuff was. Doesn't look 100 times better? That line of stuff stuck out like a neon sign. And like I mentioned, nobody lives here, so no one would even know. But I know. And I couldn't just leave it like that. So I got it all blown down here. Now I'll pick this pile up, disperse the tiny little bits that are left, and then like I said, one final blowout next week when I come to mow it, vac it all up. And then after that, it'll just be a weekly mow until it sells.